Guys, it's me, Rusty, Rusty 78609 in Central Texas, and I thought I'd respond to a comment this morning to one of my videos. This is a comment in response to a video I did on Prius camping, or camping in a Prius, a Toyota Prius, and I mentioned that I full-time RV, and I do. I live in an RV right now. I don't pull it anymore, or hardly, because I enjoy going camping in my Prius more. The question was, or the comment was, since I full-time RV, why do I go camping in my Prius? And here's a little something I want to add too. Whenever I respond to these comments, I'm not going to give the name of the individual, but I will post this video and they'll know themselves who it was in response to. I don't like to reveal people's names. You can contact me either through a comment on one of the videos, and or the easiest way or best way is send me an email to rusty78609 at yahoo.com and start your message with the word comment. So I'll know that if it ends up in the spam folder, I can just look down the list and all the ones that start with comment, I'll know they were in response to my YouTube videos. But anyway, the comment goes on to say that, since I have a travel trailer, why do I choose to go camping in a Prius? And the answer to that is, I did pull my RV, my bumper pull travel trailer, for quite a while, for several years, as a matter of fact, all over the U.S., mainly the western U.S. I was in Atlanta, or north of Atlanta, Georgia for a while, Cumming, Georgia. I spent some time in Mississippi, Arkansas. I was in Oklahoma for a while, North Texas for a while, Wichita area, Vernon, Texas area. And then, of course, I traveled out into the Four Corners area, the Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona area, and all of those areas that you would normally go, checking out the national parks and the beautiful scenery of the western United States. Pulling a travel trailer, number one, is not easy. It is tiring, and because your vehicle is just really straining if you're in the mountains, and your fuel economy is cut in half or worse. I averaged about between 7 and 10 miles to the gallon, depending on the wind and the terrain. And, that's really not all that great. And you have to be careful when you pull in to get gasoline so that, number one, you don't take a gas pump with you. And number two, the top of your RV doesn't hit a building or the top of a building or whatever, the lower part. And, you got to go in, and sometimes there's inclines, and, the back of your RV or your trailer will drag. And so all those things are on your mind as you're pulling an RV. Is it comfortable? Yeah, when you finally get set up, yeah, you've got your kitchen, your bed, your restroom, and everything. And yeah, so that is a big advantage to pulling an I don't know if it's an advantage. It is available in an RV. The downsides are, once you get your RV set up, whether you're in a state park, national park, wherever you are, primitive camping or whatever, sometimes another group can come in, and it always seemed like it happened to me. They would park right next to them, okay? And then they get out and they got 3 kids, 3 dogs, and a stereo. Well, that's just what I want. Well, if you've already set up your RV, put the jacks down, hooked up the electric, hooked up the water, whatever, it's really a pain in the ass to unhook all that and move. So that was kind of one of the downsides. You weren't free to just leave any time. And now, why do I choose going in a Prius now, or why do I do that? The answer is kind of simple, really. It's very economical. Again, I'm 70 years old. I live on Social Security and a little bit more. And, you get 50 miles to the gallon plus. So you can travel 1,000 miles on 20 gallons. At today's prices, approximately $1.75. That's $35 to get $35 to go 1,000 miles. Well, if you were pulling an RV, that'd take you 120 gallons. so it's going to five times as much. So, and not only that, you're going to pull into RV places, and you're going to pull into state parks, and they're going to charge you anywhere from $10 to $25 a night, maybe more. And with a Prius, you can camp in the tent sites at national parks for $7 a night. I'm 62, and over age 62, you get a 50% discount. And so I pay at national parks, Bureau of Land Management, Corps of Engineers. I pay a low of $4 a night to a high of $7, and that's wonderful because there's a lot of them around. And but anyway, that's one of the upsides of Prius camping, and it's easy. It's just, to me, it's just really enjoyable. I mean, you're driving a car down the highway. You're not pulling a long travel trailer that you've got to worry about a number of things that can happen. If somebody slams on their brakes in front of you, if you're pulling an RV, it's hard to stop. In a Prius, it's just a regular car. But again, and another part of that question was, some of the sites I recommend. Of course, I haven't been to that many. I've been to several, but whether they would be of interest to you or not. But what I would recommend is, without naming sites, well, I'll name a few. Okay, Guadalupe Mountains National Park in Texas is good. Big Bend is good, but both of those are really remote. You know what I mean? You got to want to be there. There's nothing around them. Well, at Guadalupe Mountains, you've got Carlsbad, which is about an hour drive away. Out in Big Bend, you've got a little town called Studi Butte, which is about 45 minutes from most campsites. And then you've got a city, about 5,500 population, Alpine, about 2 hours away. So there is something, but it's not real close. Another place you can go, I mentioned this before, Deer Springs, City of Rocks, blah, blah, blah. But, just check out camping in the western United States or whatever. You'll find a number of places. And again, the big highlight for me is, and this has happened because I've pulled into places, I went up and stayed around Taos, New Mexico. I like that area because you've got the mountains to the east and the desert to the west. And then you've got this drive that leaves out of Taos and goes up to Cuesta, back around the Red River, through Eagle's Nest, which is a lake, and then you come through Angel Fire and then back into Taos, New Mexico. It's only about, I'm going to guess, 90 miles, maybe less for that whole circle. And, a leisurely trip, 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, but it's beautiful. You go all the way, it's the Carson National Forest, and you're in the forest, you're part of the way, and then you come out and you've got some beautiful views and come out through, Angel Fire and then back to Taos. And when you get to Taos, all to the west is just beautiful high desert. And of course, then you can go out to Rio Grande Gorge, which is a beautiful place. And you can stay there at Rio Grande Gorge in your vehicle or in an RV actually overnight for free. It's written little bitty print on their sign, but you can. And the best place is I'll have to guess at this, is on the south side. There's a big tree, and if it's in the summer, you can kind of get there, and it'll be shady until the sun really starts to set. And then as soon as the sun sets, the temperature will drop 30 degrees pretty quickly. But that's a good area. And there's a number of campsites in the Carson National Forest that are free. Some of them are fee paid, but it's not much of a fee, and they're not that busy. The ones I camped out, they weren't very busy at all. I did have a couple of times where people came in and camped, and they were, a little loud, so I just cranked up my Prius, and that's what I love. I just punched that little blue button and left and went to the next site. But anyway, I hope that answers your question related to, why do I choose to camp in a Prius and not use my RV anymore, and that's basically it. And also, just a little caveat here, for those folks that are planning on or thinking about selling their homes and full-time RVing, it has some ups and downs, okay? The upside is, you are free to travel and you can live fairly economically. All that property tax can be used to pay camping fees, and you'll come out pretty good. On the dollar side, you'll come out pretty good. You know, the downside is it's always good to have a home base. And this is what I've got right here. I've got these lots in Central Texas. They back up to this big ranch to my right, or to my south. And you know, it's like 300 acres right here. And both sides of me is blank. There's nobody there. I own like 5 tracts here. So I've got built-in privacy. I've got more privacy here than I do when I go camping in a national or state park. But anyway, I'll end this video now. My name is Rusty in that. And my channel is Rusty78609. Feel free to subscribe if you think you might enjoy some of these things. Number 2, you know, thumbs up to you guys. And of course, you can leave a comment, or option 2, just remember my email address. It's rusty78609@yahoo.com. And start your message with the word comment so that I can find it if it ends up in my spam folder. Again, this is March the 15th, 2016, and this is what they call the Ides of March. When Julius Caesar, back when, one of the magicians or sorcerers told him in April or March or April that he should beware the Ides of March. Well, the Ides are basically the middle of the month, and sure enough, he was killed by members of the Senate. And the reason he was killed is because he wanted to make himself a god. And, you know, I guess that's not unusual for any leader. They want more power. But and one of the things he said was he looked at one of his friends called Brutus, and as Brutus is sticking the knife into him, he looked at him and he said, "Et tu, Brute." Well, that just means you too, Brutus. And that reminds me of, I'll be brief here, of Donald Trump running for president. He endorsed Mitt Romney when Mitt Romney was running for president, and then Mitt Romney turns around and stabs him in the back. You know, I guess the phrase there would be "Et tu, Mitt." But anyway, y'all enjoy your day. I'll enjoy mine. Again, this is Rusty78609 in response to a comment. Adios, amigos. Thank you very much. If I can get to this thing, I'll turn it off. Off thing.